Okay, wait. I know you guys must have seen the caption. How I bought this beautiful lens, this amazing lens for zero cash. How is that even possible? How is that even possible? And you know, this is no fraud, but actually this happened. Now I'll be sharing that process today, and I'll be sharing what happened with you guys in this review today. So I want you guys to stick around, watch this review to the end. Okay, guys, if you guys want to learn more about what happened, I'll hit you guys on the other side of the intro. Let's go. Okay, so you guys are welcome back to my review, and if this is your first time watching this review, why don't you consider subscribing to my channel? And if you like our video, why don't you smash that like button? By doing that, the YouTube algorithm will be able to recommend my video, my reviews to a wider range of people out there, and by so doing, you will be supporting this channel and helping me to keep going. Thank you guys for joining me in this review today. So I'll be talking about how I bought this beautiful lens for zero cash, and I think that is important. Now, one thing I want to emphasize here is that this is no fraud, and also this review is not being paid for by anybody. So I just want you guys to realize, one thing I've realized over the years is that we all human beings, like, we have this buying behavior that we just like to buy. I don't know, but I'm not saying everybody, but most people would like to just buy, even clothes or equipment. And we have old ones in the house, then we don't need one. We don't, for one reason or the other, we just don't fancy them anymore. They will keep spending money. And to make it matter worse, this lockdown has even increased the chances of that, to be just sitting there in front of the computer and keep buying and buying. Before you know, you spend a lot. In the last 2 years, I've been sitting down, I've been thinking about my photography a lot, and I've been realizing that, because I'm plowing back the money I'm making back into my photography, and I'm investing. Well, I'm thinking for myself after last year, and I'm saying, look, there are some equipment here that I have here, like a camera and one lens or one or two lenses that I do not use on a regular basis. In fact, in the last 4 or 5 years, I can count them on my finger how many times I've used this equipment. Not because they're not good, I've kept them in good condition, but I now have 3 camera bodies, and I have maybe like 5 lenses. But out of those camera bodies, I only use 2 of them, which is the Sony A7 III and Sony AR4. I do not use the Sony A7 II that much. In fact, sometimes at all. And I felt this has been gathering dust, just sitting in my bag all the time, taking space. Why don't you sell it to someone else? Why don't you sell it to a company? But I didn't want to go through the company route, and I felt like, because it's too much documentation, too much stress, I was like, okay, I'm going to sell it to a friend or a colleague that needs it, because I feel with them, I don't mind selling it cheaper for them, and I don't mind helping someone to also grow, because I was able to grow in that area as well. People supporting me when I started. So I put it up for sale last year. Those 2, especially the Sony A7 II and the Sony 70-200 f4 lens. This is an amazing lens. Don't get me wrong, it's an amazing lens, and the camera is a wonderful camera, which I don't use, but it's in good condition. Both of them in fantastic condition. But guess what? Over the years, I realized also in my photography, when I started, I was all over the place. When you start your photography, you want to try your hands on different things. But over the years, I've narrowed down, and I do more of portrait and wedding. So I do more of family portrait, headshot, normal portrait, and all things like that. So I focus more on portrait and wedding. And I thought to myself, now I have different lenses, but I don't use some of these lenses because now that I've narrowed down, there are some lenses that will help my work better. So in the last year, when Sony released the Sony 135 1.8, I watched that review. I watched the release of that lens. That lens, an amazing lens. This lens has got the latest technology. It's got the fast AF. Even in low light, this lens picks up. It picks up everything. It's just an amazing, and the picture quality, the performance from coming out of this lens is an amazing. And also, it's weather cell. It's just got everything that you want in the background blur. It isolates your object. It's just an amazing lens, and it's my dream lens. And I was like saying to myself, look, my birthday is coming up this year. I'll probably get this lens for myself. But I was thinking of buying it, and I was saying, oh, I don't have money to buy this. And with the COVID happening, I was like, no, I just wanted this lens. And all of a sudden, I thought to myself, why don't you sell what you already have? You are not using them. You could sell them off. So I put it up for sale last year. A few of my friends, signified buying it, but eventually fell through. They were not able to buy it for different reasons, and that was okay. And after waiting a year, waiting for somebody to come up to buy it again, I was like, okay, I've had enough. You know what? Let me sell it to the online companies. So what I did first of all was like two things. So I want to take you guys through the step. So the first thing I did was that, number one, I want to check the lens I want to buy, the price of the lens I want to buy. The price of the lens I want to buy on the Sony website is around 1,750, which is a lot of money. But then I was like, oh my God, that's too much. And then I went on Amazon. It was around 1,500 plus. I was like, oh, that's so much. Then I was like, okay, I'm going to go to other sites that I know that I've purchased from. I use Infinity online a lot, and I bought a lot of product from there, like lenses and camera, and they're all in good condition. They're brand new, but they're being shipped from, but they're sold in far lesser price. So when I check for this price on Infinity online, it was like 1,219. I was like, that's good, but can I get something else? And I went on Google, and you guys can see behind me as well. I went on Google, and so what I did was I kept searching, and I found this company called, I think, Dimension. You guys can see on the screen, and they were selling it for 1,171. I was like, whoa, that's even better. And to make it matter better for me, it was like they use PayPal, and these are the things that you need to look for. They use PayPal, so I feel it's secure way of paying. If anything happens, I can still probably in a way recover my money. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for this company, and I was so happy with that. So once I knew I was like, I'm happy with what I'm buying and from where I'm buying it for, the next thing is now look for a company that will buy my product, because I now know how much I need to buy this particular lens. So I started searching, and I found eventually I found Park Cameras, and I went into their trading option section. I clicked on that, and what I did was went in, fill in the details of the product I wanted to sell, and fill in my own details, and I pick the how the camera is. So you need to pick the condition of the camera, whether it's excellent or very good, or good and things. I pick them, and I just submitted my quote, and the automated email came back to say, okay, we'll get back to you in 24 hours time. Then on 24 hours, they got back to me and they gave me a quote. Now this is the first quote. Now in their instruction, it says that they're going to give you this quote at first, but eventually when they evaluate it in their own factory, they will not give you the final quote, right? So what I did was, okay, no problem. They gave me the quote for both of them. One was 629, they gave me the quote for 620, and the camera was, they gave me a quote for about, I think, 429 as well. So I was so happy with those quotes. I was just like, bam, that's it. That's it. I accepted it, but I knew that the camera would probably be valued less because of some wear and tear on the body, and I think I didn't submit the charger as well. But I was like, let me just try, maybe work and things like that. They got back to me, and I said to them, okay, I accepted the offer. You have to accept the offer, and then they will proceed to how they will get the product and all that. Why doing this? I was doing this right on my seat. I mean, I wasn't moving anywhere, like no stress, nothing. So I said I accepted the offer, and then they told me like, okay, this company will come and pick up your product. I should select a date. I put in my information, my address, everything in there, and I sent it to them. And they fix a date that the company will come and pick up the product. On the day of the picking up. Now, one thing you must be aware of, you need to fill up a form of the product again. Like, hire me, put in your details in there, and then also you need to put it in the packaging that you're sending. So put that form, print it out, fill it, and send it with the product. And also make sure you look at the instruction on their packaging. They want certain things on their packaging to just be visible and packed nicely and all that. Normal packaging anyway. I read through all those things, and they came to collect it. When they came to collect it on the Monday, all these things happened within 6 days, of 6 working days altogether. So they pick it. I said I think on the Thursday, on a Wednesday following, and this was a Monday, which they were coming to pick it up. They pick it up, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll have to wait another week or two now to get everything sorted. But no, guess what? The following day after they pick it up, they send me an email to say, okay, now we are going on the same day. On the following day, they said they're going to take 2 or 3 days to evaluate the product finally for the final time, and they'll give me their final quote. But on the same day, they sent me another email later on to say, okay, they've now decided and they're now giving the final quote. And these are the final quote on the screen. They're giving me for the camera reduced at $22.99 and the lens at $620. Stays as that. The lens, there was nothing missing. But with the camera, they had some few, like I said, those things they said, okay, you didn't send the charger with it, and also there's some few marks on the paint were faded on some part of the camera. So I was like, oh, listen, I'm fine. Like, I replied to them that, oh, look, I accept your offer. So now I had to send my because I want a cash exchange. Instead of, you have 2 options, either you want a cash for them to pay you money or to exchange for another product. So I said I want cash anyway. So I had to provide my bank details. I sent my bank detail to them, and they replied me to say, okay, we're gonna get it to sort it out, pass your details across. And guess what? The following day, I received the money. So everything happened within 6 days. And I was so happy. I was like, wow, this is just stress-free. Like, and I got the money that I actually want, because I was planning to set this much lower, at a much lower price to my friends and colleagues. But getting at this price, it was good for me. It was fantastic. But however, the money comes to around 900 plus. But the lens I want to buy is still 1,171. I was like, okay, I still have, way off, maybe about 200 plus. So what should I do? Now I have another lens with me that I wanted to sell. Now I've reviewed this lens a few weeks ago, which is the Sony 85 1.8. Because I have the Sigma 85 1.4, I thought, I don't need the 1.8 anymore. I love that lens. That lens is fantastic. It gives me amazing quality, amazing image. But because I have the 1.4, and that gives me even a better performance, and I thought, I don't need 285, and the 1.4 is a little better than the 1.8. So why not just take to one? So I decided I was going to sell that lens as well to this company. And I knew, because I bought that lens around, I think 450, 500, I knew they won't buy me more than like 200 plus. Anyway, I submitted another quote for that lens, and they gave me, I think, around 270 for, that's how much they'll buy it. And I was like, look, I'm fine, because actually I only need about 200 plus, maybe around 220 or 230 or something like that. And I was like, because I knew, because I don't have the box for the lens and I don't have the lens wood anymore, so they might deduct another £30 from me. That's fine. I'll still leave me with the 240, and I think that is going to be perfect. And that is how I was able to now go ahead with the money they've sent to me and just buy these lens that I've been dreaming of ahead of my birthday coming up. And this lens will be arriving soon, and I'll be able to review it to you guys, show you guys what this lens can do. I'm so excited and pumped up about this lens. I love this lens, and I think I can't just wait to review it. However, my thought is, so many of you watch me right now know we all do this. Like, we have so many things sitting out there that we don't actually need. We pack our houses with different things that we no longer need. Why don't you take that thing out to the charity or sell it off to get some money? Even if it's a little money, get a cleaner space, get a cleaner place, and narrow it down to the things that you actually need and will help your performance. I know this lens will take my photography to the next level. I know it's not just about the equipment itself, but about the person behind using the equipment. I know that, but if you have a better equipment, it will help you better, work faster, more efficient, more effectively. And that is what this lens will do for me. And I'm intending to grow, and I'm still growing and in this process. So I want to encourage you out there, if you have things that you don't need anymore, you're into business and you haven't seen, why don't you go ahead and sell those things? Look for a company that will buy it, or individuals that you can sell it to, and then you can have your money for it. Let me guys know in the comment section below, what do you do to your product? Do you still keep things like that in your house, things that you don't need, or in your offices, things that you don't need, or you sold them? And what's your experience when you sold your equipment? What your experience like? I've had some horrible experience of people selling to individuals and they never get their money back in full and things like that. Let's talk about that. Let's have a conversation around this. I hope what I've been able to say in this review today will help you, or will shape your thoughts in your next move in buying your next equipment. I have decided, because of everything going on, I'm just not going to buy less. I'm going to save more, and hopefully and use what I have even to achieve what I need to achieve. Guys, that's my review today. And until next time I see you guys, I want you guys to keep safe and bye-bye.